Good evening, dear guests of today's meeting. Welcome. Today is the 7th of November, 2024. The time is 18:01 GMT +2. We're going to start on the hour. We're going to forego the tradition of starting late because we have spoiled our participants and they already got used to the idea that they can come late. So from today, we're going to impose new discipline rules. So if we agreed on 1800 hours local time, then it will be 1800 hours, 6 p.m. Well, of course, in your countries, relative countries, it can be either 6 p.m. or it can be later or earlier, depending on your current time zone. So let's start. We've known each other for several times and we've had several meetings, and I told you that we're going to take a short break because we were getting ready to launch our new updated platform. And traditionally, let's check my sound, my audio. Were you able to hear me, what I've just said? Yes, I see people are giving me 10s, pluses. Perfect. Then you're able to hear me. Those of you who could not hear me, then, dear friends, somewhere at your end, on your devices, on your phones, on your tablets, on your computers, you need to fiddle with the settings to be able to hear and see me. So on my end, the connectivity is fine. Then if something is not okay, then probably it is the problem at your end with the connectivity or with the audio settings. So let's start. Over the period that we haven't gone live, we saw quite a lot of things happening in the area of string transportation technology. We saw changes in the crowdfunding area. I mean, active preparation to the transition to the updated, rebranded back office, the website. And I would like to ask you a question. So what kind of news published over the last fortnight, like 2 weeks or a month, were to your liking? So probably it excited you or caused some emotions. So share them in the chat. I will gladly read them, and it will be easier for me to understand that our audience is on the same page and what they would like to see in terms of news and updates. So let's give it some time. So let me repeat the question. For you personally, what kind of news was the most impressive and exciting in the area of the development of the string transportation technology over the last months or recently? And while you are answering, so I see already some feedback. I see the first answers. And while you are answering this question, I would like to outline the structure of our today's meeting. I think it will take us roughly an hour. Today, I'm not going to take a lot of your time. We're going to be sweet and short. We will discuss the company's news. We will discuss the questions related to the operation of our platform. We will also discuss the format of the closed meeting that we had on the 24th of October, why the meeting was closed, what kind of questions were raised and discussed, and what our next strategy or action plan is going to be in terms of our platform's activities, just for you to be updated. So let me read your feedback, the news that you liked. Some of the questions will have to be translated for me. I will use the Google Translate function. So someone says, I haven't seen the new website. Well, the new website was showcased during the closed meeting, but we will go back to that question. So far, I'm talking about what kind of news recently published were exciting for you, were to your liking. Let me see what else. Someone wrote they are excited and happy about the news. Someone says the company received a certificate for yet another track infrastructure. And then another one says there was a video with the answers from Dr. Unitsky and the license. Someone says the Belarusian president now paid attention to the technology. Well, this is not an old piece of news. The engineering company is located in that country. And finally, the opinion about Dr. Unitsky and his company has changed, which I highlighted during my previous meetings on numerous occasions. Remember, I emphasized that the reputation of Dr. Unitsky, both as a developer and as an engineer, is gaining momentum, is growing, and now his fame or reputation is beyond contestation. There is a technology, it's viable, it's certified, and now everyone is fully aware that we are about to go to the market. And there are dozens of commercial products to testify to that. Then someone says, Unitsky's video. Someone says, I'm happy about all the news. It was written by Lydia. Let me see another comment here. I'm very happy about this platform. So I guess what you mean is that you're happy to be on that platform or using that platform. Okay. Let me see one more. Please bring once again special packages in RSW. Well, I already mentioned that before. Until the launch of the Micron Global platform, there won't be any special discounts, so you'll have to wait. So Lubov in the comments said that lots of news and all of it is good. Well, the bottom line here is that the news published over the recent period indeed testify to everything that was said before. The technology is viable, the interest is growing at the highest levels on behalf of the ministries of transportation, heads of municipalities, and high-ranking officials. The work is ongoing in dozens of regions. I know that, you know that from the news, but I would like to point out several key pieces of news. We all know that the United Arab Emirates have been showing interest in implementing the innovative transportation systems in their region for quite some time. And there was a news published quite recently regarding the project for the Dubai transportation system. This project will cover 65 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. And this is how it goes. News. And it was even written in the Arab journal, Arabian Gulf Inside. So it is a journal for Middle East and Northern Africa, which is intended for this region. So it also provides the reputable analysis and facilitates commercial cooperation. Since USky Transport can become a strategic partner in this project, I'm talking about the project in the United Arab Emirates, the representative of the company gave an interview to the journalist from this particular media, and he said the following: "We do not need a lot of materials, and we need less materials used for metro. And if SkyPod system, and this is how the string transportation system is called, has 3,000 to 4,000 passengers per hour, it will remove up to 4,000 cars from the roads, and other suspension systems in China, Japan, do not have the cost of SkyPod, and they cost more." So why did I read out this particular piece of from the interview from the specialist of the company, employee of the company? Because it shows that since in the United Arab Emirates, in Dubai, they approved this project, the suspended overhead transportation system, where the string transportation technology has a number of advantages over all other existing types of transportation that can be used in this region. It showed that basically you can make a conclusion here that why would you use something that is more expensive, or build something that is more expensive and less cost efficient, less safe and environmental, where you already have a certified, ready to use solution. And after this news was published a couple of days ago, a certificate of conformity was received for the semi-rigid track structure. And this certificate was received by the TUVSW company, from the TUSW company, which is an internationally recognized leader in technical auditing and certification, which basically confirms the high level of reliability and safety of that technology. So in other words, it's yet another track, test track number 4. That's how it's classified in the R&D center in Sharjah. It was certified by one of the world-leading companies whose job it is to issue such certificates, which conforms reliability and safety. So this is not the first certificate, because other track structures were certified by this organization. This is just the continuation of the successful integration of the string transportation technology into the global market, because this, dear friends, allows the technology to get closer to having a bigger number of commercial projects. And I think all of us understand why there are several track structures, because different clients require have different demands and different technical solutions. And of course, with individual demands, there should be individual tracks and rolling stocks in order to address certain challenges. For example, sometimes a track structure can be located on a straight piece of land, a more or less flat piece of land. And there are projects, for example, where there is an inclination angle of 30 degrees. There are several such projects in the company, projects in the mountainous area, and the company is working on those projects as well. So, dear friends, everything is moving not just in the right direction. For the last 6 to 9 months, the news was coming as a landslide. More and more positivity around that news. And if we compare it to how it was 5-7 years ago, where we had to face negativity on the internet regarding the string transportation technology and everything related to it. Now the positivity and the truth about the technology and the developer, Dr. Yunitsky, compensates and kind of balances off all the negativity that we had to face in the past. So someone wrote in here something, let me read it out. Someone's asking about the work of the website. We will go back to that. Our second part of our meeting will be dedicated to that, and I will give you all the details. What else I wanted to highlight? Lots of our partners do not fully understand how to interpret the news published on our platform. And let's take the example of the last news about the interview given by Dr. Yunitsky to one of the investors into the string transportation technology. This interview was published on Dr. Yunitsky's channel tonight, and there was also a news with the expanded Q&A list. And lots of our clients do not fully realize where to find those news and how it happens. So for you to have a better picture, let me show it to you how it works. Just from the technical standpoint, this is just a technical, let's call it deviation from the main topic, for you to understand how to use the news feed on our website and how to get redirected to the source of the news. So right now we are on our website, RSW Systems platform. I hope that you can see my screen. Just give me in the chat some signal sign that you can see my screen. Good, you can. Now, we are on the website of RSW Systems, and we have the news section in here. We go in there. So now we go to the news section. Automatically, we have a pop-up window suggesting we subscribe to the Telegram channel. I think we have already. We close it down. So this is the piece of news published today on the 7th of November that goes as follows. Special issue, video answers to pressing questions with Anatoly Yunitsky published. I click on it. We are redirected. Immediately, you can see the YouTube video embedded into the page. You can click on it and you can watch the interview on the website directly, or you can go to Dr. Yunitsky's YouTube channel right away. You click in here on top, and you will be automatically redirected to Dr. Yunitsky's YouTube channel. So let's wait for the page to load up. Okay, now we are on Dr. Yunitsky's webpage. Everything in here should be considered as the source. So we were redirected from our platform's website to his YouTube channel with his interview or video. So if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe, like it, and then you can watch it and get all the information. The contents, we will still get back to it. We're talking about the technicality, the technical part. So every news you can see in here has a source. And that's how it's called, source. You'll click on it, and then you are redirected to the website of Yunitsky Engineer. And you can see the video published in here, and the second bit, which is very important, and many people probably haven't seen it or just missed it. It says below, because there were quite a lot of questions to Dr. Yunitsky, and it was difficult to put it into one video only. And Dr. Yunitsky's schedule is quite tight, and to record several hours of interview is not feasible. So a lot of questions and answers were given in written form. Below, it says more information about the specifics of cooperation with crowd investing platform, group of companies, promotion of UST technologies, and plans for the new year. Read the new article on the website. And it's a clickable link. You click on it and you're redirected to that particular article. And in here, you can see quite a lot of things that you wanted to hear or know in terms of the questions that were raised and answered by Dr. Unitsky. So here you have quite extensive information. I think there is a total of 8 big questions. Let me make sure. No, not even 8, it's 11. So I recommend everyone read this information, and after you familiarize with this information, we will dedicate the next meeting to breaking down all the answers to those questions in order to avoid that I try to digest and repeat and give you something new. I would like you already to be familiar with the content, and then probably you would like to specify something, clarify something with me as the head of the platform, like, Maxim, please tell me why Dr. Unitsky said this or answered like that to this particular question. And after that, at the next meeting, I will gladly discuss this topic with you. And I would like to draw your attention to the fact that first you need to watch the video published tonight and also read the article with all the relevant topical questions and answers asked by many of our investors and answered by Dr. Unitsky. The answers are quite extensive and exhaustive as well. But if you want me to, I will be able to add up to it. So my suggestion is you read this information because it relates to us, investors into the string transportation technology. And this article and this video interview, this video reportage was created specifically for us, not for some scientific circles, institutions, TV channels. It was made for us investors. And you often asked why Dr. Unitsky does not go live. This is not entirely true. Dr. Unitsky regularly on his YouTube channel, if you go to that channel right away and look at the contents, you will see right away in the video section. Just take a look. Throughout this year, you have quite a lot of videos, like 8 months ago. Answers and questions and answers with Dr. Unitsky, part 1, part 2, part 3. Interview with the director of the company in the United States, where it says why Dr. Unitsky decided to go to the market of the United States. So Eco World program, this was immediately after the conference on rocket-free space exploration was held. There was a documentary about the Eco World, or Eco World documentary. That's the title of the film. I mentioned it already, so if you haven't watched it yet, please do. But right now, what I'm saying is that everything that relates to us and was published recently, like tonight or yesterday, was done specifically for us. Questions to the answers in the video format and then extended answers in the text format. So Ruslan, I think we will have to publish an individual piece of news about this particular topic. I'm talking to my administrator, Ruslan, here. So let's create a piece of news for our colleagues and partners to be able to familiarize with that. So let me see what you are writing here. Where can we watch the recording if we cannot open YouTube? So you can watch YouTube using VPN, or we can try to upload this video on a different resource, Vimeo, and you can freely watch that video on a different hosting service. Okay. Everything is going to be on Vimeo. Ruslan already wrote it in the chat. So we will re-upload this interview on Vimeo video hosting service in literally 1 hour. So here you have it, like very quick answer to your question. As for Hindi language, we're not going to have this video translated into Hindi, just use the automatically generated subtitles. They should be good enough. Someone says Vimeo doesn't have a translation or automatically generated translation. Then I suggest you use VPN to watch the video on YouTube. So our colleagues from India no, Indians can watch this video on YouTube, right? And you can watch it with automatically generated subtitles. Well, let's do it this way. Those clients who cannot watch it on YouTube will watch it in Russian on Vimeo, or they can do that using VPN and watch it on YouTube. Our Indian clients can watch this video on YouTube directly. There are no limitations or any kind of restrictions. And then you can click on subtitles, and then you will be able to read the automatically generated subtitles, captions to the video. So that's the solution I provide. And Ruslan says that both on Vimeo and YouTube, you will find English captions as well. And I guess if it's in English, then it should be in Hindi as well. Okay, dear friends, I hope you don't mind that I gave some time to the technical aspects of it, because some people do not know where to look for news and how to find the source. So my giving it some time to describe it for you to be ahead of the news and should be beneficial. So let me go back to the website, and I hope you guys don't mind that we're spending time on this, because it is for your own good as well. So let's go to the news about certification. So we wrote about it. We made a repost of the news taken from the official website. Where did you take it from? From here. Click on source, and you will be redirected to the website of uskytransport.com. So you have all the information in English in here. If you want to have this text translated into your own language, you should have an inbuilt feature, translate into your language, and then you choose the language and you can read the information on the source website. For example, when some articles are published in mass media. So let's take this one. where it says that a article was published in a very reputable medical journal. And then again, you can click on this link to get the source of the article, and you will be redirected to the Unitsky website. For some reason, it's broken, but you can find it on Dr. Unitsky's website, or you can go to the source. Here it says that Dr. Unitsky's article was published in a reputable medical magazine, and you can also follow the link to get to the author's website. For some reason, it's broken. Here it is. So this is the article in Russian. So you can see this piece of work and the scientific engineering work. So what I'm doing this for is to show you that we need to know how to use the resources at our disposal, and this way you will always be ahead of times, and you'll be able to keep abreast of all the news. Someone says, please, Maxim, give us the single chat for the Russian-speaking audience where we can share information across investors. Dear Mansour, we have a Telegram channel with more than 10,000 subscribers, and we have a chat. And in that chat, we have all of our partners speaking English, Hindi, Russian, and other languages. And Telegram right now allows you to translate messages. For example, I go into comments section, you see, and in here, it shows show the original, which means all of my messages are already translated into my language. We live in the 21st century where all the articles, messages are automatically translated, and this feature is built into your gadget. So probably the only difference here is because I have the premium version in Telegram, and it doesn't cost much, a couple of dollars per month. This is the subscription fee, and then everything will be translated automatically for you. And I think a couple of dollars is not that much of money. And if you want to read everything in your own language, then you pay for it, and you will be able to talk to whoever you want from any country. And I think it is quite reasonable for us to have a single chat for everyone, so that everyone would know that we are an international platform. We can talk to each other, being in different countries, and this is the huge advantage and our strong point, that you can talk to people from India, London, England, Czechia, or even in Kazakh language if you need to, or Estonian if need be. And if this feature is automated on your device, then all the news will be automatically translated. So there is no point creating multiple language chats. We have like hundreds of thousands of people among our investors, which means like hundreds of different countries and languages, and it will simply make everything more difficult. You can, though, create a chat for your own team, for your own partners, for your own structure, for your internal communication, for addressing your internal questions pertaining to your region, your country, and you can easily discuss all those questions in the working format by having a individual WhatsApp or Telegram group or channel. But talking about our platform specifically, then it would be more reasonable for us to have one single source of information. And I think this is going to be way more effective for everyone. Okay, friends, let me read out one more question in English. Please give us some information about the exchange listing of Skyway project. Well, first things first, we don't have Skyway anymore. In 2021, the company performed the rebranding, and the commercial brand of the technology was called Skyway, and it's been 3 or 4 years that there is no Skyway anymore. So let's forget about this title, about this name, about this brand. Now it's called Unitsky String Technologies, UST. So let's always use the correct nomenclature, the correct terms when talking with people. We should move away from Skyway and use UST, Unitsky String Technologies. As for the question that you asked about listing on the exchange, etc., we are going to discuss this question next meeting. During the next meeting, we will dedicate that meeting to all of the points raised by Dr. Unitsky in his interview and in the text Q&A, because this information pertains to us directly. Okay, dear friends. Okay, I hope as far as the news is concerned, everything is clear. You now know how to use the features on our website in order not to skip the original news or miss the original news, because sometimes we can give some superficial information about the news, but more information, more details are given on the official website on UST or Unitsky Engineer. So for you to be ahead of the news, abreast of the news, you need to learn how to use all the features. I hope this was useful for you. I know that there are a lot of people who already know how to use it, but those who hear it for the first time, was it useful for you? Give me some feedback in the chat, please. Someone says, yes, undoubtedly, it was useful. Thank you, guys, for your feedback. Anatoly, Ludmila. Now, let's go back to the operation of our platform. Now, please tell me, did you know that we had a closed meeting on the 24th of October? Someone says, yes, I did. Pluses, I did. I knew. Lots of people were aware. Now, my question is, who wasn't there? Do we have among our guests people who weren't at that meeting, who did not attend that meeting? So Ludmila says, I knew I wasn't attending, I didn't attend, but I watched the recording. Someone says, I knew and attended. Someone says, I didn't attend, but watched the recording. Okay, good, good. Now, friends, let me explain why this meeting was closed. Because many people had questions why the meeting was closed, why they had to sign the non-disclosure agreement. Alexander is asking, where can I find the recording? We published the news where this recording could be found a couple of days ago in Telegram. On Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, probably even before, we published the announcement that the recording of the meeting is available for those who weren't able to attend the meeting, but you had to go through a certain procedure. Let me explain to you why the meeting was closed. Someone is saying, on the 2nd of October, it was published. I think you mean November, not October, Verika. So, friends, let's go one by one. Why the meeting was closed? Let me try and explain it to you. Right now, We are working on the old platform, RSW Systems, and we are getting ready to transition to a new platform. And I hope you know why we're doing it, why we're doing the rebranding, what we're changing, and what is the cause and effect here. I explained it on numerous occasions. You can watch the recording I made in December. I gave quite a lot of details. Then I provided the explanation, clarification. We will not dwell on it today. I hope you all understand why we did it and why we came to that point where we needed to do a rebranding. So why the meeting was closed? We can safely say that on our platform, we have two categories of people: active clients and passive clients. So what is the difference between the two? An active client on RSW systems platform is actively participating in the partnership program. They keep inviting new clients who become investors into the string transportation technology, and such agents, such partners earn commission from their work. So I'm talking about the active category of our clients. And there is a passive group or category of clients. Those are people who invested into the string transportation technology, and they are not very fond of building network, making sales. They are more concerned with their investment and the capitalization of the technology. And this is quite normal. So basically, we can split our audience into two major categories, two parts. So transition to the new platform pertains more to those people who see their future in relation to working with us, actively working with us. I'm talking about people who plan to keep on actively developing their partnership network, building their career, and promoting the technology in public across wide population. And by doing it, help the technology to develop, to move forward through the principle of investment crowdfunding. So the format of the preparation of the transition to the new platform, of the meeting dedicated to the new platform, was closed because meetings like today can be easily and safely published publicly. But when the conversation is about something internal processes, then it should stay within the walls of the community that care about it, that are concerned with it. For example, if we were to publish the information openly about our crowdfunding mechanism, then those passive investors who are waiting for the news about the capitalization of the technology and everything related to the string transportation technology, they would hate and they would give negativity about the meeting because they wouldn't be able to hear what they wanted to hear. So Gregory says, how should we describe people who keep on investing without inviting new people? Can they be called passive or active investors if they keep on investing but do not invite other people? Well, in terms of investor, you're an active investor, but in terms of the agent of the network activities, you're a passive agent. If you're talking about yourself, then you would be an active investor, but passive agent. So in other words, I think those people belong to the first category. So people who keep on investing but do not invite other people. In terms of investment, crowdfunding, Gregory, you're an passive agent or passive investor, but only in terms of crowdfunding. But in the investment terms, you are an active investor, but not an active agent. So you do not participate in building your structure. So when I started my meeting back then, I told you, guys, if you are expecting to hear news about the capitalization, about the payout of dividends, that's the center of attention of many people. If you're waiting for the information about the remuneration, you will not get that information at the meeting. So, and I gave a warning straight away, and I told to the participants, guys, you can leave the meeting if you're waiting for this information. And a couple of people left the meeting in order not to waste their time. So we were there for 2.5 hours. We even had a break somewhere in the middle to rest. So that particular meeting was dedicated to the investment crowdfunding and to the operation of the Micron Global platform. So the meeting was closed to avoid that it would be attended by people who do not need it. So let me continue my train of thought here. So, dear friends, in order to get ready appropriately to the transition, our task right now is to separate active from passive investors. But this is not a strict distinction. People who would like to move on actively, they will participate in the current processes. Passive clients will still be the clients of RSW systems. Then they will be migrated to the Micron Global with all their personal data about their purchases, extracts from the shareholders registry, etc. And the RSW systems platform will be like an archive. It will still be accessible, and you won't be able to make purchases there. Svetlana, if you heard what I said 15 minutes ago, because you're asking, are you going to tell us about the dividends today? I already gave the answer. First, there was an extended meeting dedicated to dividends where I gave a detailed description of the investment memorandum of the Global Transport Investment Company. There was a whole detailed section dedicated to the payout of dividends, and I gave a also detailed clarification. Also, I said that we would dedicate the next meeting to all the questions raised and answered by Dr. Unitsky. Dividends, capitalization, those questions were indeed raised in the list of questions published as text. And we will do that next time during our next meeting. So please listen to me carefully, so we wouldn't be wasting time going back to the same old questions. As for the preparation for the transition to the new platform, the reason why we are holding those closed meetings is that we have created right now a Telegram channel with around 600 people in that group. And today, someone has asked me about the recording of the closed meeting. The recording of the closed meeting is published in that closed Telegram channel. For you to join that Telegram channel, you have to go to the corporate training in your back office. You will have to go through the registration process, sign the NDA agreement electronically. And then after that, so the administrator shared the news about it in the chat right now. So you go through that procedure, you will see the Telegram link, you follow the link, and you will join the closed Telegram channel. And in that channel, you will see published all the recordings of all the closed meetings. The next closed meeting will be held either on the 14th or 16th of November. So the reason I'm saying all this is, if you consider yourself as an active partner who wants to attract, raise more investments into the string transportation technology, on building career, and you will be given the opportunity to build your career because the new compensation plan will allow you to tap into the entire depth of your structure from all the purchases made, almost all the purchases made in your structure, not just 5 levels right now, which is more focused on personal sales. With our updated platform, you will be able to build your own full-scale, long-standing career and make quite handsome revenue from that. And someone will probably make indecently handsome revenue from that. So in order not to miss that point, the transition point, in order not to miss the opportunities that will be offered within the promotion that will be launched just before we launch the updated platform, I suggest you join that closed channel. You register for the next closed meeting, which will, the news will be published later. But first you need to join the closed Telegram channel and rewatch or watch the meeting, the recording of which is published in the channel. After that, we will hold another closed meeting, and there I will give details about our next steps while transitioning to the new website. So what I could tell you right now, dear friends, is that we're doing it also so that every one of you would have an opportunity to test the new website. Right now, we are setting up as many people, a group of as many people as possible who would test the website. I'm talking about the sign up, sign in, test payments, etc., for us to be able to test the website. And yes, for us to be able to test the website, we need as many people as possible. 300, 500, 700, the more, the better. So right now, you have the opportunity to become part of that focus group. Let's call it the focus group or the core team consisting of our active clients, active partners. So do not miss out on this opportunity. So what comes next? Next, we are going to create special teams of speakers on our updated platform, where each one of you will be able to submit an application. We will consider those applications, and we will put up together a team of potential speakers, people who would like to be the media personality, to join the ranks of our public speakers and take use of this opportunity. After the second close meeting, we will give a more detailed description of the requirements for the candidates, for the applicants to this large-scale initiative. So everything will be there in the Telegram channel. So if you position yourself as an active investor who would also like to participate in the affiliate network, you will be given the chance to do that. And let me also ask you a question. In your opinion, what are the two main factors that influenced the success of the development of the string transportation technology? Two factors. What do you think they are? So right now, the company, the group of companies of Dr. Yunitsky achieved considerable results, and it was facilitated or affected by two main factors. What are they? Okay, and now can see the answers. Foresight and power of Dr. Unitsky and willpower, financial and media strength, recognizability, transfer of information, popular support, and cool technology. Well, yeah, you almost have it right. Someone says work with potential investors. Yelena was quite close, quite right. It's support of people, popular support, financial support, and the technology itself. Dr. Unitsky, as the creator of the technology, who was able to implement it thanks to the financial support of a large number of people. So those two factors, in my opinion, dear friends, are the key factors, which is the genius of Dr. Unitsky as the author of the string transportation technology and his mastery and skill to creating engineering school, scientific school, and being able to transfer experience and knowledge to a lot of colleagues on his team, which now numbers around 1,000 people. So this is his merit. And another important factor is the work of the crowd investment crowdfunding mechanism. And the reason I'm asked this is that the string transportation technology will keep on developing in the same way, thanks to the engineering company's operation, UST, and thanks to the funding and participation of every one of us in the investment component of it. The company now achieving the break-even point doesn't mean that it doesn't need funds for innovations and further development. So commercial success of the company means our being able to receive dividends in the future, but innovative component of it means that for the technology to develop and to upgrade, Dr. Unitsky and his team have to work on that, and that work will be funded from the crowd investing sources. So what I'm saying here is that we need to fully realize that we, as the participants of the investment crowdfunding, have still a lot of work to do. Our work is not yet done. We still have the funding of the high-speed transportation ahead of us, which will need quite a lot of money. And that's why we're moving to a new platform to create for you the most comfortable conditions for your work, for the payout of your fees, commission, for you to be able to build your long-standing career, to earn good commission, and to enjoy what you will be doing. So, dear friends, I urgently recommend each of you make a decision, think about it, and make a decision to which category you think you belong, active or passive. And now I'm addressing myself to the active partners. And I hope by now you should know the difference between the active and passive clients and investors. So for you, dear friends, I would like to make an announcement. We're going to have a closed meeting on the 14th or 16th of November. We will publish the information closer to the dates on Monday, I think. And I would like also to have a meeting on dedicated to all the questions raised during the interview with Dr. Unitsky and also the questions detailed in the text interview. So for the active partners, we're going to have a closed meeting on either 14th or 16th of November. For all clients of our platform, our next meeting will be next Tuesday, 6 p.m. GMT plus 2. So what I recommend you do is you first familiarize with all the news on Dr. Unitsky, recent news, if you want to, on Dr. Unitsky's website, which is his recent interview, and the questions and answers in written form. So this is the first thing that you need to do. The second thing that I recommend for the active partners is to register and join the closed Telegram channel, and I recommend you watch the recording of the previous closed meeting, and for you to be ready, to be fully aware of what was mentioned during the closed meeting for the next closed meeting that we're going to have on the 14th or 16th. Svetlana is asking, will the new marketing plan be available to everyone or only the closed channel? To everyone. In the back office, you will see it. It's either already loaded, uploaded, or will be uploaded. So I recommend you follow my recommendations in order to make sure that our work is as productive and as constructive as possible. Well, for now, this is all I had for you. We spent exactly 1 hour. And I can take one more question, and that's it. Dear Maxim, I've been with the project since 2016, and I have the need to transfer my pre-IPO shares to other people, to other persons. Is there a form or a way to sign over my rights or anyone's rights to someone else? Will there be like a legal department? So basically, this is not the competence of the platform. It is the competence within the competence of the investor and the country. So if you want to make a will and bequeath your pre-IPO shares to someone else, you can describe it in the text of the will, of the testament. For example, if a person passes away, there is such a thing as inheritance rules or right. And usually half a year later, the heirs will come into the possession of the property of the deceased person. And if there are several heirs, then those pre-IPO shares, I guess, will be equally allocated across among all the heirs, or according to the text of the will of the testament. So for that, you will need to take the extract from the registry. If we're talking about the first option, you take the extract from the shareholders registry, you go to the notary public, and based on that extract, you can draw up your last will, and then in the will you will specify to whom go your possessions. There is no need to create a legal department for that, because this is not the area of competence of the company, because there are like hundreds of countries with investors into the technology, and every country has their own inheritance laws and all the legal and notary aspects. And well, basically they are quite similar. So if you want to bequeath something to one of your relatives, in this case your pre-IPO shares, then after your passing away, they will get your pre-IPO shares once they produce the certificate of death. And they will have the legal confirmation of being an heir, and then their name will be entered into the registry of shareholders. That's quite straightforward. Okay, dear friends, in this case, let's wrap it up. We have 2 home assignments. The first home assignment is to watch the interview with Dr. Unitsky, read the written article published on the website. It's for all the clients of the platform. And then prepare your questions for the next meeting based on the interview and the text video interview and the text interview for the next Tuesday. So everything which is not clear will be clarified there. Again, meeting will be held on Tuesday at 6 p.m. GMT +2. This is your first home assignment. And the second home assignment is intended for all the active partners who would like to keep building their client network, build their careers. Then your assignment would be to join the closed Telegram channel to familiarize with the information and to watch the recording of the last meeting, and then to join the focus group to participate in all the preparatory processes, which includes testing of the platform, then joining the team of our speakers that we will need in our team and other roles, not necessarily public speaking. We will also make an announcement what kind of positions we would like to fill, what kind of competencies we're looking for. So those are your two home assignments. So watch the video and read the article by Dr. Unitsky with the interview, and then prepare your questions for the meeting on Tuesday. And then either on Thursday or Saturday, it depends, we will have another closed meeting. And I hope by then our group will be replenished by another couple of hundreds of people. So the recording of this meeting hopefully will be published at the latest tomorrow, so that there would be enough time for people to watch and listen to me, to what I've said today. So thank you very much, dear friends, for your time. And I was very glad to see and hear you online, virtually, answer your questions. Thank you very much, and see you soon, which is on Tuesday, on the 12th, if I'm not mistaken, of November. Yes, it's the 12th of November. Again, thank you very much. Have a nice evening and have pleasant views and accomplishment of your homework. Bye-bye.